Going on to you Taurus out there. Hope y'all are having a great day. So for you Taurus, you have the Ace of Swords, the Six of Swords, and you have the Nine of Wands. Excuse me. So, okay. There's definitely a sense of you Taurus thinking about who you are now, what you've been through, and now a lot of you Taurus like, nah, there's not going to be a whole lot of take back seas, because the Ace of Swords represents finally being able to actually put your foot down by putting your sword down, right? There's not, this is the power of love or whatever, or understanding strategy. When you do, is to understand what is worth fighting for and what is not, like I was talking about. And see, a lot of the times, what puts you really in a better position is when you understand what is worth fighting for, right? Versus what is futile. So a lot of the times, a lot of you, I'll say this, a lot of you Taurus are waking up and realizing that a lot of the things are really not worth actually putting in all this effort for, right? The juice is not worth the squeeze. It's not a lot of the times. A lot of the times when people do certain things, like for instance, when people do certain things and it displays a lack of character, why is it that you want to go after this person and find out what is going on with them and dedicate more energy to them and struggle and wrestle and fight to give people who think like that access? You understand what I'm saying? They want you to fight with them, to be in a relationship with them. That's a whole dub. That's a dub in on itself. That's an automatic dub. We don't do that over here. We're not trying to force anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. That's not what we do. At least over here, that's not what we do. And the Ace of Swords represents that, right? The Six of Swords and the Nine of Wands is looking for someone that actually wants to be in a relationship. That's what you Taurus are doing. Where it's not this wrestling match. It's not this that you gotta constantly pin this person down, so to speak, right? Spiritually, of course, to get them to get out of their own way. It's like, no, no. If the person doesn't want to do it, no, then you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna be wrestling with this person or fighting with this person to get this person to be in a relationship with you. No. Like, if the person doesn't want to be in a relationship with you, then you Taurus are going to let it fly for what it is, right? That's the best thing that you can do. The Eight of Cups and the Six of Pentacles is about, because you Taurus understand that love should be a two-way street. Everybody, this is the problem. This is the problem. Everybody want to run around, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it, right? I'm not 100% sure of it, but I'm confident that there's some people who probably behind the scenes goof or talk bad, like I'm a dog, about me behind the scenes, right? About how the stuff that I be talking about in my readings is trash and all this other type of nonsense. Oh, I'm talking about love and all of this. And it's like, okay, granted, they can talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about. But at the same time, it's like, you could laugh at me and stuff like this. You could laugh at me. But we all know that, why is everybody out here in the dating pool then? It's just to play people? Stop. Because there's other ways to play people. You ain't got to use relationships in order to do that. There's other ways you could play people, i.e., attention and money. So why use love, right? So the Eight of Cups and the Six of Pentacles right here is about how, so you realize that a lot of relationships now are not really worth your time. and that it's only you're gonna put in a lot of effort with a relationship that's worth your time. The Eight of Cups, you know that a lot of people are out here looking for something fast and something short-lived, not a relationship, not anything long lasting. It's something that's microwavable, right, so to speak. It's something that's very fast. And the thing is that the Six of Pentacles, it got to go both ways. The love has to go both ways. You, Taurus, want love, but then the other person doesn't really want anything long term. That's not really a good relationship. The two of you want different things, and it really is a different thing, for real, because a short-term relationship is just that. There's not a lot of strings attached to that, truth be told. There shouldn't be, right? And it's something where, like I said before, it has to be short-lived, right, as far as fun, because the longer the two of y'all hang out in that way, y'all are in a relationship. It might not be a good relationship or a functional one, but y'all are in a relationship, because while y'all doing y'all do, the more you do it is the more attached to the person you become. So you don't really want to, if you looking for something short term, right, the person, or you in general, don't necessarily want to do that too many times with one particular person. But yet at the same time, a relationship is a person, or two people that does want to that commitment, right? That level of love and appreciation with one another. Now the Six of Wands and the Page of Swords right here is about you, Taurus. You know that you want a commitment. So a lot of you are becoming very adept, very experienced in this, to be able to know if you and another person are sharing values or not. And I'm seeing how a lot of you Taurus are like, if the two of you really honestly don't share the same values, I'm seeing how a lot of you Taurus are really watching out for that, and you will stay away from that. The two of you have to want a relationship with one another, you know what I'm saying, for you to ultimately decide that, hey, you're going to hang out with this person or commit to them. If this person just wants if this person just wants a short-term relationship, so to speak, just for the summer, because people do that type of stuff, then they can talk about it. So the thing about it is that the Six of Wands and the Page of Swords right here is about how a lot of you are not necessarily affected the same way that you used to be affected. A lot of you understand, it's just that for you Taurus, y'all are becoming better at this, more experienced. A lot of you are realizing that number one, well, a couple of things. Number one, it's actually better to really be in a relationship with somebody. And a lot of, again, people are gonna laugh. That's why I don't mind it. I'm not scared to be laughed at or any of that type of stuff, or clowned on. I'm not afraid for that type of stuff at all. Because a lot of times, people are sometimes worried about the fun or the short-term relationships, not even realizing that when you have a connection with the person, a spiritual connection, it actually makes the sensation feel better, which makes it better overall. Thus, part of the, not the whole reason, but another, I should say, reason why establishing good relationships is a good thing. It actually makes that activity a lot better. Quiet as it's kept. When you do something, right, and the two of you don't really have that kind of connection like that, yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had and everything like that. Of course, there's a lot of fun to be had, but it's not as great as if the two of you had a spiritual connection with one another, right? I'm telling you, the scientific, as a matter of fact, The scientific facts. If anybody want me to bust down the science, want me to break down the science on it, show you the evidence to it, that having a spiritual connection between yourself and somebody else actually does make the sensation of the fun that you having, if you know what I mean, feel better, let me know. Just comment that down in the comment section below. And you know me, I'll show you the evidence to that. So, you know, the stuff that I be saying in these readings, you know what I'm saying, especially when I put you on to the knowledge and stuff like this is not stuff that like I'm just talking because I don't know what it is that I'm talking about. These are things that I've literally done research to, and I know what it is that I'm talking about. Like, so why would I come up here and talk about some nonsense? As a matter of fact, I want people to challenge me. I want people to come and get the information so that they can find out for themselves just how serious this thing is. And I'm not BSing and wasting your time and all this stuff, so you can actually get the knowledge. Clown all you, for the goofies, clown all you want to. You still goofy. Because the thing is that the Seven of Cups here for you, Taurus, excuse me, is that it'll be better. The connection that you, Taurus, will have with the other person, things will get better for you and the other person as well. The Two of Cups and the Empress. Again, that commitment, that spiritual connection, it's a lot better. And I definitely understand what it is that y'all two are talking about. I definitely get it. You know, like it is, as I said before, you know, because having that connection, it makes everything feel better. You know, the things that are fun, especially when the connection is a right connection, right? It's a correct one. It makes everything feel better. Not just the fun in that sense, right? But also the spiritual connection when you actually connect with the person, the conversations and everything, you know, when the two of you are around each other, you actually enjoy the time that the two of you get to hang out with one another. The two of you actually enjoy that time that you do get to hang out with one another, right? Between you handling business and hopefully the other person handling business, you legitimately enjoy each other's time when the two of you actually get time to hang out with one another, right? When you don't have that spiritual connection, there is no time hanging out with each other. There is none. Because again, it's you know what I'm saying? It's a half-baked relationship. It's a half-baked relationship. It's like, how you going, you know, y'all are doing everything but actually giving each other the commitment. Nah, don't do that. And I would suggest not to do that because it muddies the water. It muddies the water. It's like if the person is just coming through, right, and the two of you don't really have that kind of connection, why is it that they're going to take you out and, you know, take you on trips and take you out and like dates and stuff like this? Like, nah, don't do that. Don't do that. That muddies the water. You want to make sure, right, to keep things real nice and neat. If you and this person or these people aren't together or aren't trying to essentially get to that point where the two of you are coming closer together and everything like that, where you're coming closer to them, they're coming closer to you, why exactly is it that y'all gonna date? Why would y'all take these trips? Why would y'all spend quality time with one another? Nah, that's the type of stuff that people in relationships do, right? So don't do that, you know, especially if, you know, you Taurus know that you and this person don't really mend together or blend together like that in the first place. Nah. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Empress. You have the King of Swords, Chariot, the Page of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, and you Taurus have the Five of Wands. Yeah, because the King of Swords and the Chariot is about how you Taurus are just too intelligent to fall for that same thing that you used to when you were inexperienced. You know that if it's not a real relationship, you're not supposed to get super attached to the person, and that, you know, the person trying to take you out and all this other type of stuff, they're just doing that because they want you to be hooked, you know. Um, while they're not, essentially, right? Make you look like an idiot. You don't want that. So the Page of Swords is about, because they have ulterior motives, essentially. The Nine of Pentacles and the Five of Wands, because when you're doing that type of stuff long enough, like I said before, it's all, there's a thin line between just having fun and now having something real. Because if somebody, you know, comes up bearing, yeah, that ain't, you know, if someone comes up bearing, that ain't a good look, you know what I mean? Because now it's like if the person decides to keep it, now you connected to this person in a way where, you know, an individual never necessarily intended to. So, you know, it's a very thin line between, you know, being in a relationship and just having fun. It's a very thin line, sometimes too thin, right? So you have to make it neat. You have to make that line, you know, broad again. But other than that, that's it though. Have a good one.